Let's do some Nutoning here. We're going to address a couple common issues with Nutones. This is a brown sea island. I do like sea islands a lot, but they're a spinner motor, as you can see, with a Fasco or Emerson type flywheel stuck on it. This one, the motor seems to be loose in the housing. We're going to worry about that another time. I think it was dropped. So one of the most common issues with Nutones is that the switch housing is loose. So I've already taken it off so you can see there's a rubber grommet here that goes bad with age. And that's why the switch housing gets loose, because it's looking for that additional space to be filled there, and it's not. And you can see the hole in the switch housing is bigger. So if you really want to do it right, you have to actually replace that grommet with either a reducing washer. Nylon bushing would be fine. You could use another rubber grommet. It'll last however long it lasts. I've never done it the right way yet. What I've done every time is I've just simply put it all back together and just cranked down like crazy on the nuts and washers that are in there. And you can get it tight so long as you remove every trace of that rubber washer, because otherwise what happens is you tighten it and then that rubber washer, the pieces either press or expand or they just disintegrate and now it's loose again. So I'm going to do that later because I need both hands for that. Other thing I wanted to address is what did I lose? Light wire, doesn't matter. I wanted to look at the wiring because we never know how these are wired. And so we're going to look here. What do we got? We got two reds. One of those is for the light. We got a brown. We got two whites. One of those comes from the supply. And two blacks. One of those comes from the supply. So I really wish I had multiple hands. That would be helpful. Because I want the hard part is figuring out which ones are the supply wires, which ones are the motor wires. And the easiest way to do that is simply just to pull on it and look at the other end. So let's see here. Here's a white. Yep. So the white from the supply goes to this wire nut. Well, I should have figured that out easy. It's got a light. It's got the light white on it. So that's fine. The black, is this the black supply? Looks like it. The black from the supply goes to the transformer. Let's just double check. The other black, nope, not from the supply. Okay, so we're going to follow it from hot to neutral. Black from the supply goes first to the transformer. So the transformer is actually hot all the time. That's interesting. And the transformer goes out blue, and blue actually becomes black from the pull chain. Is that labeled with LN123? It is not. You'll have to see another one of my videos with Nutone pull chain replacement so you can see. But I'm going to assume that that's L since it's black. So then red from the transformer goes to blue from the pull chain, which we'll assume is 1. And then 2. So this is actually our hot to the motor. It comes out of the pull chain red. And our hot, now it's switched, so we've got either full power or reduced power through the transformer. Goes to white from the motor. And also goes to white on the reverse switch, which is a center on one side of it. Okay? So that's where I guess we're powering both coils that way. Both coils are getting reduced power through the transformer. And then, so then that's going on one side of the reverse switch, it's white. And then depending on which direction it's going, either it goes to red, which goes to red from the motor, or it goes to brown, which is through the cap to brown from the motor. Okay, so it looks like brown is one coil and red is the other one. I'll have to actually draw a schematic to really know what this is doing. So then on the other side of the reversing switch we have black, which comes from neutral. Okay, yeah, so what this is doing is just yep, there's two coils. It's a two-coil motor, and one of those coils is hot all the time. That's getting, well, not hot all the time, but you know, yeah. I'm tired, I'm saying things wrong. One of the coils is getting just power all the time, that's what you get, and that's going to the white wire. And the other one, the polarity of it is being switched. That's the auxiliary coil, and that's going through the capacitor, which in this case is 4.5 microfarads. So, looks like the main coil is white, and let's see here, white and where's the, here we go. White and black is the main coil. That makes sense. And then the auxiliary coil is red and brown. So, brown auxiliary coil gets power through the capacitor on the, and then yeah, just the polarity of it switches depending on what direction you want the fan to go in. So just, I'll go over it again for those who didn't follow. Hot enters in, goes to the transformer, comes out the transformer, goes to the pull chain, comes out the pull chain via red, which I'm assuming is 2. We'll have to look at another one where the pull chain is marked, and goes out of the pull chain to white from the motor, and then to white from the reverse switch. And then comes out of that reverse switch, red from the reverse switch, red to the motor, brown from the reverse switch, goes to the cap, which then goes to brown from the motor. And then the only wires remaining that we have are the black wire from the motor, which goes to neutral. And neutral also goes to the other side of the reverse switch. So the reverse switch has on one side of it hot through the transformer and pull chain, the other side of it neutral. So that should be enough information to hook up your Nutone, hopefully. So it's really not that complicated. It's the only thing that's complicated about it that's different than any other motor is the frickin' transformer, which I hate. You guys know I hate transformers, right? And the fact that the pull chain is a 3-wire pull chain, but L is not hot. You know, it's backwards. Hot goes to the transformer and then comes out again through, I believe, 2. So that's the only thing that's confusing. And then the whole reversing section of it is just like any other motor that has a dedicated aux coil, as opposed to switching back and forth where one coil is the main coil, one coil is aux coil, and they switch depending on which direction you want it to go. Yeah. So Nutones aren't as bad as I originally thought. If you're missing the transformer, or the transformer is bad, then you would just connect black from the supply to both red from, either you can connect it to this red, or you can either connect it to white from the motor and white from the reverse switch, and then control speed some other way. You could do that. I've already tested this one and it works, so I just need to put it back together, and I'm going to do that now, and then we'll have some Nutonage. So thanks for watching.